The chalice is the symbol of the Unitarian Universalist faith. We light it to begin and to conclude our times together. And for our chalice lighting today, we have words from Adam's slate. We hold that moment in our spirit. When the great mosaic of humanity is treated with respect and dignity, when no person is threatened by hunger or war, when we have extended hospitality to the stranger and tended to the sick, when equity and justice reign everywhere, then we shall be free. We light this flame to hold that moment in our spirits and in our minds until we can make it real. Our opening words, Ever in Our Midst by Karen G. Johnston. Ancestors who spoke with bravest fire, lend us your senses that we may know another world is on her way, breathed into life with our participation in her creation. Forebears who led the way where there was at first no way, lend us your persistence, your termity, your assurance that the moral arc of the universe does indeed bend towards justice. Ones who went before us, sacrificing for a future not your own, help us give of ourselves that the common stones in our hands today might be the cathedrals of compassion tomorrow, halls of restorative justice, sheltering walls of beloved community the day after. It is Sunday morning, the day we gather. Let us be thankful for and full of praise, to be in the company of those who came before, yet who are ever in our midst. I have a story to share, and I just really like this story. And there's a couple of different versions of it because translations and languages are fun. So I'm going to go with the one that's closest to the original Lenape. Once there were 7 wise men. They dwelt in the land of the Lenape. Very they are wise, and the Lenape people, they bothered them. By night and by day, the wise men, they said, every day a great many people to the house they come, they ask, it is not good, we must leave, we will live a quiet life. We go away to the mountain, and they exist inside the rocks. And everything, it was good. But once a young man, he hunts, he sees them, the rocks. They look different. Every day, the young man returns. He whispers to them, the rocks, and the rocks, they talk to him. He is surprised, but they answer him. Soon he returns to the little town, and he tells them about the stones. The people, they all start walking to the mountain, and they see them, the 7 rocks. Soon the 7 wise men, they say, now we must leave. We need it. Peace. They walked to the top of the mountain, and they exist inside 7 beautiful cedars. There they stood, and they feel it, wind through their branches, and they are peaceful. It was a good feeling. They sing the cedars. Soon the Lenape people, they see them, the 7 beautiful cedars, and they hear them, their song. And by the Lenape people, they knew them to be the 7 wise men. The 7 wise men, now they think, what questions? What must we do? We must go away. What must we do to live a quiet life? They look at it, the sky, and they think, let's go. We exist inside 7 stars. We will watch them, guard them, the Lenape people, but the Lenape people, they will not bother us. Now they exist inside the 7 stars. We call them the Pleiades. For our guest speaker this morning, I would like to introduce Professor of Government and Political Science at Mountain View, Professor Jonathon York. He is a political scientist, musician, amateur astronomer, among other things, who joins us this morning with decades of experience in political science and more than double that in indigenous studies, as he was born Lenape, Delaware tribe. Jonathon's research explores intriguing topics from the Enlightenment's impact on American constitutionalism to the monster, his own independent research into applied multidimensional mathematical analysis of political rhetoric. Notably, he is a member of the American Political Science Association's Indigenous Studies Network. He is a contributing author to the series Honoring the Circle, Ongoing Learning of the West from American Indians on Politics and Society, and is wrapping up his own textbook, An Introduction to Political Science from a Theorist's Point of View. Plug the book for you. He is a dear friend, a mentor, going on over a decade now, and I am so grateful to have him here with us this morning to share the lessons from the 7 grandfathers.
Willie Kishko, everybody. That is good morning or good day. I chose Jerry Alfred and the Medicine Beats song Generation Hand Down because I believed it was appropriate for the subject that we are that I've been asked to present today. Before I get into the specifics of the gifts of the 7 grandfathers, these are those same 7 grandfathers that we heard my friend Ian deliver in that very old story about listening to the stones speak. You know, there are some who remember that that there are 2 places actually where these 7 grandfathers can be seen, or where they have been seen. One, of course, is the village in the sky near Grandma Spider, the Pleiades, the 7 wise men. It's also called the village. The other place, historically, to show just how far this story, how far-reaching the gifts of the 7 grandfathers are. The original name of the place that you know in the Black Hills as Mount Rushmore was also the 7 grandfathers. And thinking about Jerry Alfred's song, he is not necessarily Lenape, he is Tuchone. And he is a celebrated songkeeper for the Tuchone Nation up in the Yukon. But his, if you were wondering about the song, there are 3 principal verses. One of them is about the past, which is connected with the earth, connected with the ground. Another is towards our center, which is the present. And a third one is for the future, for those who have come before us, for ourselves, and those to come after us. And so, this morning, knowing that the 7 grandfathers have ascended into the sky and also left a mountain in their wake, I would like to present to you also the gifts that they left for all of humanity. Now this story, or these gifts rather, have been passed down. They've been spread around throughout thousands of years. We don't know how long ago this was, but they also can correspond to places on the compass rose. The last time I spoke before you was, I think, 5 years ago. And I shared with you a kind of map for our living, for our progress through our existence, which, as far as we know, does not end, is as endless, boundless as the universe itself. But I would like to focus this morning on the gifts of the seven grandfathers. There are also certain spirit animals that are associated with each of these. They're also connected with the directions, with the seven directions of our experience. I'd like to begin with the first one, which is Cecilia, and is associated with the East. Cecilia is the Lenape word for buffalo. You might be more familiar with the word Tatanka, which is Dakota. And Cecilia carries a similar weight, a similar importance. The buffalo gives every part of his being to sustain human life. Every part of the buffalo, when hunted, was used. The reason he is so valuable is because he represents respect. And that's where we begin and we learn in childhood, the first stage of our lives. And this is associated with the dawn. So, to honor all creation is to have respect, to live honorably in teachings and in your actions towards all things. Do not waste, and be mindful of the balance of all living things. Share and give away what you do not need. When speaking a few days ago with Ian, I always have this tendency to think of generosity as a gift unto itself, but it courses through every single one of the seven gifts of the grandfathers. Ultimately, treat others the way you would like to be treated. If you've heard, do as you would be done by. This is essential for respect. We respect the world. We respect our neighbors. We respect our friends. And yes, even our adversaries. We must have respect for them. And ultimately, we must have respect for ourselves. From here, we move to the south. This, of course, is love. And it feels transitory. It feels like it is always moving. And it may be elusive. And this is why the iham, or the opalania, the eagle, represents love. The eagle represents love because he has the strength to carry all seven of these gifts. He can fly highest and closest to the Creator. And also has the sight to see all the ways of being from great distances. His eye is sharp as his talons, as sharp as his beak. His teaching of love can be found in the core of all teachings. Therefore, an eagle feather is considered the highest honor and a sacred gift. To know love is to know peace. So view your inner self from the perspective of all seven of these teachings. They are mutually reinforcing. This is to know love and to love yourself truly. Then you will be at peace with yourself the balance of life, all things, and also with the Creator. You might also notice that since this is a stage of becoming rather than being, it's often associated with our adolescence, the process of becoming a human being, the process of becoming an adult. It is transitory. It does not last, but love endures forever. As we proceed, we then proceed from love to the West, to our adulthood, to truth. And I have a kind of personal connection with this because of the name that I was given by my mother, which translates as little turtle. There are several ways to say it, but one translation or one word is Michikinikwa, which means the open, sharp eye. One must have an open, sharp eye to discern the truth. This is where we spend our adulthood in the West. This is where we spend most of our lives. Up to this point, we've been preparing for that. The turtle was here during the creation of the earth, carries the world on his back. He lives life in a slow and meticulous manner because he understands the importance both of the journey and the destination. Coming out from our adolescence and into adulthood, I think many of us can appreciate that. Truth is to know, of course, all of these things. So apply faith and trust in your teachings. Show honor and sincerity in all that you say and do. Understand, of course, your place in this life and apply that understanding in the way that you walk. Be true to yourself and all other things. As we proceed, we must have strength. And this brings us to the next point on the compass roads, to the north. This is Mach. And when I think of Mach, I think of love because of things that my mother taught me. Mother bear, as it were. As I said, all of these, while these animals are often connected with one specific teaching, one specific gift, actually pervades. They actually pervade all seven. But when I think of the bear, I think of love, and sometimes that confuses me. I'm sure there are a few of us who probably understand that too. But the mother bear has the courage and the strength to face her fears and challenges while protecting her young. The bear shows us how to live a balanced life with rest, survival, and play. To face life with courage is to know bravery, to find your inner strength, to face the difficulties of life and the courage to be yourself. Based on what I heard this morning, I think this resonates with us all. Defend what you believe in and what is right for your community, for your family, for yourself. And that circles back around to respect, which was the East, a state of being. You have your childhood and now you have your adulthood, and it comes back. It comes back. We experience it all over again, but from a different perspective. So make positive choices and have conviction in your decisions. Face your fears to allow yourself to live your life. And once we understand this, then we reach a new stage of becoming, which is called senescence. You notice that I've color-coded these just like before. Senescence is the process of becoming an elder. I would like to think I'm not there yet. Those are the 4 directions that, as Jerry Alfred has taught us in his song in the Generation Handdown, there are 3 others in our experience that we too often forget about. And so next, we must arrive at the ground. This is where we find wisdom. Tamakwe is the beaver. And he is connected with the ground, with the earth, with the waters. He uses his natural gift wisely for his survival. The beaver also alters his environment in an environmentally friendly and sustainable way for the benefit of his family. Would that we would do the same. To cherish knowledge is to know wisdom. So use your inherent gifts wisely. Live your life by them. Recognize your differences and those of others in a kind and respectful way. Continuously observe the life of all things around you and listen with clarity and a sound mind. Respect your own limitations. I know I have many of my own. One of them is I don't have eyes in the back of my head. I don't want to get lost. So I keep looking back. Continuously observe the life of all things around you. Listen with clarity, with a sound mind, and respect your own limitations and those of all of your surroundings. Allow yourself to learn and live by your wisdom. To remember this, reach out to the ground. Next, of course, from down, we have up. This is the gift of honesty, as well as generosity. There are actually 2 spirit animals that are associated with honesty and generosity. You have Ahas and you have Kichisabe. Ahas, we know. We have met him. We've seen him. Kichisabe is open to only a few who have ever seen him. You might know him as Foot, or as Bigfoot, or as Sasquatch, if you know any Salish. But Kichisabe is the name in Lenape, in Ojibwe, Anishinaabe, Cheyenne, and a host of other Abenaki. There are a lot of Algonquian, Lenape dialects. They both understand who they are and how to walk in their lives. Sabe reminds us to be ourselves and not someone we're not. An honest person is said to walk tall like Kichisabe. Like Kichisabe, we have Raven, Ahas, the crow. There's a fine distinction between raven and crow, which is not so important as we might first think. The crow accepts himself. He knows how to use his gift. He does not seek power. He doesn't seek speed or beauty of others. Instead, he uses what he's been given to survive and thrive. There is a related story that the Cheyenne tell about Rainbow Crow, who retrieved the sun using his special gift when it was stolen by giants. He comes back, he flies, catches the sun and is burned, and his beautiful warbling voice is ruined by carrying the sun back for the people. But he used his gift. And that's why when you hear the crow, it sounds so rough, brazen, insistent. But you know, if you look closely, you can still see the rainbow in his wings. To walk through life with integrity is to know honesty. So be honest with yourself and recognize and accept who you are. Accept and use these gifts that you've been given. Do not seek to deceive yourself or others. Rainbow Crow did that, certainly did that. Kichisabe knows this inherently. Finally, we have the center, where we all are at all times, so that we may see the universe around us, the cosmos around us, and know our place within it. We know Time. Time is the wolf. And if you know anything about wolves, I hope you do. Wolves are not the threat that some people believe they are. Wolves are actually humble. They must maintain that humility to keep the pack alive, to sustain the pack. The wolf's life is to live for his pack. The ultimate shame is to be outcast. Humility is to know that you are a sacred part of creation as much as everyone else and everything else in the cosmos. So live life selflessly. Do not and not selfishly. Respect your place. Carry your pride with your people and praise the accomplishments of all. Try not to become arrogant and self-important. Find balance within yourself and with all living things. To help me remember. Maybe to help you remember as well. I've included a variant of the map of the cosmos that I brought up before, that I addressed before 5 years ago. My gosh, it was 5 years ago. And so, you might recognize this. It's a little hard for me to see because of the glare. But then, that helps keep me humble, right? We have East, childhood, and respect. That's the beginnings. That's a state of being. Adolescence is where we first feel the burning of love. It's represented by the South. It's our adolescence, and it's not a place that we can remain in. To the West, we seek truth in our adulthood, our responsibilities, our duties, and our search for what truly is. We must have courage, though, as we progress, as we move forward towards our senescence, that process of becoming an elder. Eventually, even that does not last. For eventually our bodies return to the ground and our spirits to the cosmos. Hence, down and up. The earth offers us wisdom if only we would bend our ears to listen. The heavens keep us honest so that we can ultimately be generous with these gifts and whatever else we have learned and been given. So, if I may, I know you probably can't hear me quite as well on the recording, right? So, I begin looking for respect and knowing that I need to have respect for all around me, all of you, and also I must respect myself, as we all must. Turning, we move to love. which may seem elusive, but it is ever present if we only call to mind our place in the universe. When seeking truth, we must know what we're looking for. Then we must have the courage to face that, even if that truth is not what we expected. That grounding wisdom to know where we are on this journey, and the honesty to be generous with ourselves. Thank you.
From Braiding Sweetgrass, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teachings of Plants by Robin Wall Kimmer. In a culture of gratitude, everyone knows that gifts will follow the circle of reciprocity and flow back to you again. This time you give, next time you receive. Both the honor of giving and the humility of receiving are necessary halves of the same equation. For our chalice extinguishing, also from Robin, a story from Braiding Sweetgrass. Okay, what are the other kinds of fire? My father asks as he adds a stick to the fire at his feet. There's a fire you must tend to every day. The hardest one to take care of is the one right here, he says, tapping a finger against his chest. Your own fire, your spirit. We all carry a piece of that sacred fire with us. We must honor it, take care of it, for you are the fire keeper.